It's gonna be a short run, but you know, it's a pretty fun game. So I'll try to explain the best details I could. Um, so can I explain it a bit before the run?
You're gonna have to. I don't know anything about this game.
That's great. That's great. If you haven't,
And Draco doesn't talk, so.
that's okay. He's tired as hell as well. But anyway, this game is called Zone of the Enders. It's one of those. People will say it's one of those Kojima games, and a lot of people from PS2 times got to say something like, "Oh, it's one of those games that I bought, and it has Metal Gear Solid 2 demo." So, yeah, that's pretty much the game. It's a really short game in any percentage. Pretty much, it's like around 20 to 25 minutes, depending of the pace. But you know, I'm not going to do any PB or anything like that. I'm just going to showcasing how it works. But we're probably going to maybe get a run of under 20 minutes. So I'm pretty sure of it. Just I might die a bit, but it's not a big deal at all. I don't think.
Wait, you're not gonna PB?
I would like to. It's just I just want to showcase it. You
Oh,
know.
okay, okay. Well, no stress, but I hope you PB.
Oh yeah, that would be great, dude. That would be great. But yeah, I'll try to give more details of how the route goes. But it's not a big, you know, not a big problem at all. So you guys let me know when you guys ready because I'm about to start it up. All right, cool. In 3, 2, 1, go. So this game came out on the PS2 back when PS2 came out, and one the beginning intro, like you cannot quit the game as well. So you're forcing to do the first start of the level. So like if your example starting speedrunning the game, like you're gonna have to like keep it up the tutorial level to begin with. Like normally it's just like not too much long, but if you're like somebody who starts speedrunning and trying to optimizing your own, it might be annoying as hell. But it's not a big deal. So you're gonna have two waves of enemy, one with the swords and one like what we call dummy heads. Those are pretty. Sometimes they can be a pain in the ass, I would say. Oh, sorry for the curse, but they can be really painful to dealing with. And it's supposedly one of those boss, but we're not gonna dealing with her that much on this. We just need to grab her, and eventually she's just gonna put away and just, you know, that's it, you know. That is the first Vaiana, we call it. And there's one thing you're gonna figure, noticing a lot in this game is we're gonna pick a lot of things like that, and we just pretty much like going out, going to a zone, going to the open world, going to a zone, going to an open world, and we're going to another zone. So that's gonna be a lot of things during the next 20 seconds. 20 minutes, I mean. My bad. But yeah, normally this is not a big deal here. So normally here we take down those two guys because they have a passcode, and to have like to activate those things that we're about to get, we need to get a passcode, and the only way to actually get the passcode is by defeating those squads. So it's not too much. So we're actually in the actual open world, and we're heading to the first boss. The first boss in easy is quietly not a big pain to dealing with. It's not a big problem. What you're gonna do is just keep your distance because he has flamethrower, and it's not a lot of damage, but still he can knock you and it stuns a bit. So there's gonna be like this phase where he's just got that kind of big head. And normally I want to do is throwing energy balls, and as you can see, normally it goes like good enough to knock it out off in the actual roll. Like now this time I just kind of missed the shot, and I was in a terrible position. But it's pretty much not a big deal, not a big deal at all. It quietly happens sometimes. But as you can see, like the health went pretty like low a lot. But yeah, that's the first boss of the game, you know. Not a lot of things, pretty easy dealing with, so I have to not worry about it. First thing we're gonna do once we're done with the boss, we're gonna leave the zone, and we're gonna go back to factory 1 to grabbing another thing that are gonna be able, that we're gonna be able to progressing into the into the game. So like it's pretty much like as I say, like we're gonna destroying some squad like with passcode like that every time, and we're gonna grab all that thing and go back to the world. It's not a big like it's not a big thing to do. That's all I have to say. But yeah. So we're gonna grab that, and after that, once we grab it, we're gonna press start and just leaving the zone as we're doing. And we're probably gonna heading to City 1. But the problem with City 1 is that it has a barrier. So the only way to destroy the barrier is with an actual weapon. And you see a lot of things with SOS and all that. Like normally, if you see normally like kind of like icons of people, and when it goes to 0, you basically fail. You fail basically, and there's a way to do it fast, so we could not deal with it. So as you can see right now, we're going to town 2, and we're gonna be like doing we're gonna destroy things that allows to give us a weapon. We're gonna get destroying those small things, and what we're gonna once we're done with this, we're gonna get a weapon called sniper, obviously. And with the sniper, what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot in the middle of the barrier of City 1, and it's gonna allow us to pass through the next side of the zone. So that was a pretty good thing to do, because like there's a lot of like troop nearby them, and like there's one in front of us. So normally you see something like that and counter, and the best option for me to do is not looking at the actual squad, because if I'm looking up to them, or if there's enemy nearby me and my screen in front of me, it's gonna like resetting the aggro. If like they're like nearby me, like it's gonna give me like actual it's just like it's almost like they're close to me, but they're behind me, so it won't really matter that much. So they just like, it's not a big deal. So as I say, like we're sniping all that things, not much of a big deal. I'm just gonna grab some sniper again, because I actually missed a lot of shit. But you know, it's a we're going to go easy. You know, it's a marathon speedrun, and I just want to. My intention is just to showcasing how it works. So we normally like go to in the game. We actually go to EPS 1 all the time, because it's like you're gonna want to start there normally. But you know, we actually as speedrunner who start speedrunning that game, we normally go to ESP2 simply because there's a squad that will allow us to get a passcode, and after that we have to go to another zone to get another passcode. And those passcodes are really important, because it's just a progression about the objective, progression about the game, you know. So we go out. Now there's some kind of barrier, and we're not about to get in. So you have this kind of squad randomly can appear, and we have to destroy them. So I'm gonna just give a good distance, and I'm gonna throw like energy balls. And yeah, and as you can see, it just pretty much easily destroy them. And normally, sometimes if I'm not carefully in a good distance, they're probably gonna grab me. So I got the passcode 1, and we leaving the arena again, and we're going to town 3, which no, town 1 actually. My bad. I was confusing for a previous time again. But we're heading to tower 1, and what we're gonna do is there's another passcode we're gonna get, but this one is pretty it's pretty bit troublesome, I would say. There's like those actual squad are currently really bothersome. So I'm gonna get the Megatron here to just be sure everything will be alright. You know, play safe would be the better option for me. But yeah, you see, like it's all the same unit of actually orbital frames. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw the ball, and I'm just gonna go forward him. And you see, as you can see, like that is some laser. So yeah, that actually can be problematic.
those things you're collecting, the Metatron, what do they do exactly?
Megatron give you health. That's what it is. And
So those are health pickups.
yeah. So as you can see, those things can be real painful, and with the laser, like they're just destroying and annihilating where I'm going. So it kind of stunned me every time, like I go through them. And in any difficulty, like normal and hard, they're hurting really hard. So it's pretty risky. So once we got the passcode, we're heading back to, we're going to EPS1. And after that, once we're done with EPS1, we're heading back to Town 2 for something really special for once.
So when you have the choice between 3 or 4 stages, the order you pick is because you need passcodes, or are there any other reasons?
It's for like, because like there's other levels that gives you, like there's other passcodes somewhere like near, but they're not like big, they're not like much important because they're weapons upgrading, so it won't really matter. But those passcodes we're currently doing and the route I'm using right now, they're really important because they're allowing us to progressing to the game, because there's some kind of barrier.
So basically you want to avoid doing the stage you don't really need to do.
Kinda, I guess. But really what matters is I get all the passcode, and to make sure that I get, well, some of the passcodes that I need, because it's not all the passcodes that will work for every passcode. That's the thing.
Okay.
So we're gonna destroy that, and it allows us to get that, actually that kind of box thing that will allow us to get some new thing. And it's because normally, as you see, there's 2 directions once I was entering here. There's this direction we're heading, and this direction has an object we need to grab. So we're grabbing this because we actually want to controlling another orbital frame that allows us to get into ESP2, because our orbital frame, like the Jelly, cannot get into ASP2 because it has not some kind of barrier thing to their system. So we're kind of limited with this unit for now. But once we once we're figuring out and find another unit, like the Raptors, we're heading to find another Raptor that is really useful and malfunctioning. So what we're gonna use with the malfunctioning one is we're gonna go to the ESP2, similar to this one we're currently done. And what we wanted to do is we want to do the same thing, but not with this unit. So I'm heading to Town 2, and it's pretty gonna be simple. Like normally, once actually first thing I'm gonna grab the sniper because I need some ammo, because I definitely need some. As you can see, like I have to like do this to affording. As you see, like there's some kind of hug, everything around the actual kind of robot I'm using, and like it actually tells if it's red or orange. It tells like I'm really close to a squad, so I have to be really careful about that. And now, since I'm nearby to a malfunctioning Raptor, I'm gonna controlling this malfunctioning Raptor, and we actually at ESP2. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same route as we did, but this time we're gonna use this orbital frame.
So I don't know if we mentioned it since we started, but this game was made by Hideo Kojima, and we can really see the Kojima aesthetics in the game.
Yes.
There are many similarities with the first Metal Gear Solid games.
So there it is. Normally I can go forward, but it would be optimal for us to go there because we're winning more time to grab another item that allows us to destroying the actual machine. So we're gonna grab this. This thing allows us to see things that are invisible, or we can detect things that allow us to go through a shortcut. As you can see, we can see those objects as well, because it's not necessary for any percentage because, well, it's not really important to grab. So each time I'm entering into some kind of cage room like that, there's perhaps sometimes a lot of units, It sometimes can be really long depending on how like we're destroying them, but normally it goes real fast. So I use, as you can see, like it's a dead end, but normally if I didn't get the item I did grab, it would like forcing me to grab the thing, you know, because I cannot like keep it up the run. So I'm gonna grab another cyber just to be sure. And as you can see, there's a lot of frame dropping. There's one thing that we know, that the PS2 version of this game is not the most optimizing version. And it's kind of unfortunate because, you know, you would think it's really like, because there's Zone of the Enders 1 and Zone of the Enders Second Runner. And Second Runner on the PS3 is quietly a really good optimizing version to speedrunning. But the thing is, like, Zone of the Enders 1 HD edition is quietly a bit broken in a sense. Like there's a lot of frame dropping randomly, but you know, compared to the 360 version, it's not similar, because on the 360 version at least you won't dropping frames and FPS is quietly solid there. But yeah, it's like kind of hilarious because you would think of it that way. 360 version of Zone of the Enders 2, I believe, is quietly not the best version, but Zone of the Enders 1 is the best version. So we're heading back to ESPN2 to grabbing the Raptor we actually controlled, so we can grab the detector. Now, we got the detector from the actual Mac functioning orbital frame we grabbed. So, you know, once we did destroying the machine and all that robo, well, that kind of like mecha thing, we destroyed because we wanted to get the actual item we picked from it, you know? So this is it. And now we're pretty much done with all of this, and we're heading to Mountain 1. But in Mountain 1, like, once we're heading to Mountain 1, there's like some kind of like sequences that is automatic and we cannot skip. So it's part of the story. Technically, what happened is that your mecha is got a virus that actually, as you can see, don't give you any health. So you had actually at 1 HP Pixar health. And the best option is actually figuring out which place to get an actual antivirus. So we're heading to Factory 2, and in Factory 2 we're gonna do a small thing that allows us to get to fixing the mecha. Once we're fixing with the mecha, we're probably gonna go back to City 2 and grabbing some passcode, and to Town 3 because there's some invisible squad that are actually invisible, and it's not possible to actually attacking them, because if you didn't have the detector, it would have like forcing you to just giving problematic. But as you can see, I destroyed this raptor and it gave me the pass so I can get the vaccine. So once we got the vaccine, everything is okay, normal. The mecha is back to normal, and we're gonna leave the zone and we're gonna go to City 2. In City 2, our goal is to get a passcode. It's not easy. It's a squad of 2 units, and it's going to be really fast. After that, we go back to Town 3, which we never went, but it's going to be easy. But this time, there's going to be invisible orbital frame. And if you don't have detector, as we did earlier, it actually can be a bit problematic, because you didn't actually, it would be like a return for nothing, you know? So I'm destroying the unit, get the passcode decor 1, and we leaving the arena. Once we're leaving the arena, we're going to Town 3, as I say. It's pretty much a similar thing. This time, as I'm mentioning, that's gonna be some invisible squad. So there's nothing much big deal out. So we're going to the left here. As you can see, like, it's pretty invisible, but when we're getting close to it, we're targeting the actual units. And normally there's going to be a unit spamming there, and that's going to be the passcode units. So there it is. And what we're going to do is we're going to kill quickly those units, and we're going to get the passcode decor 2, which allows us to actually unlocking a weapon, an actual weapon, I would say, maybe, if it's the right word. But it's gonna allow us to unlocking a thing that will allow us to beat the boss that gave us a virus. So we're going back to Factory 2 because the item is actually in Factory 2. So there's some kind of thing we got. Like the reason why I pick it up sniper bullets is simply, as you can see, like there's some kind of like blue, well, green things far away, and I have to snipe them to unlocking something that we really need, because once we get the weapon, we don't actually get ammo. So we're gonna have to get those things done, and it's pretty simple. It's not a big deal. So we got everything destroyed, and there's nothing much we can do right now, except that we're gonna get the weapon, and once we're done, we're gonna go back outside, and we're gonna get the box. We just unlock it.
So there's a lot of going back and forth between the zones in this game.
Yeah, a lot of it. It's not really a big, like, it might confusing some people, but it's like once you're figuring out, once you're practicing the route, it's like it's starting to be a muscle memory. It's not really hard. Like, it's pretty easy to figure out. As you can see, I'm changing the weapon, and now you can see I have D-cord, and I have nothing on D-cord. So the reason why destroying the kind of like green things is simply because it's to unlocking this kind of box there. And this box is basically D-cord ammo. So we got D-cord, we're leaving the zone, and we're going back to beat the boss, which is not a really hard boss at all, I would say. It's similar to the first boss. Not a lot of like big mechanics to there's like nothing problematic at all. Once we got D-cord, like it's not a big problem at all. You'll see it. So he's kind of shooting something, and we're just gonna use the D-cord, and he's just gonna thinking like we're there. So it's pretty simple. Not a big hard thing to do. And like as you see, like he's do it twice. And once like he's shooting the second one, we're already heading to the phase 2. And in the phase 2, I just want to get close to him like this way. And I just want to do energy ball. And it might happen like that, but it's not a big deal, you know. It's already done. So it's pretty easy to finishing this boss. Not a big problem, but it's not a strat to do in. It's not a strat you would do in highest difficulty, even a normal. It's just we're using this way in easy because it's simply like we're losing less of health than normal and hard. But yeah, I'm just gonna grab the Megatron here. This section is pretty easy. It's not a big deal. It's the last. It's actually the last zone we actually at, and we're heading to the last boss of the world. So after that, once we're done with the last boss of the world, we're heading back to some places to dealing with Bayona, but that's gonna be the second time we're gonna fight with her. So it's not a big fight. It's gonna be simple. I explain in the detail once we get there, but right now it's pretty much to begin to explaining this level, this actual level. I would say like the first time when I speedrunning this level, it felt like a mess because it was pretty like complicated and like confusing to where we're going. But like there's like all the route looks similar, but you know it's like I would say like it's not a big like pretty hard. Like once like we're figuring out a route to where to go to the boss, it's not really that much hard. But yeah, I just like a pretty simple partner we're going, and like the more further we go to the boss, we get more units, and it's pretty much until we go to the other room, to the actual boss room, I would say. So we're not missing anything.
We have shot down the enemy.
So we're heading there. Like there's probably gonna be like 2 more units remain, and we're going back. We're actually gonna fight the boss after that. And this boss can be, I would say, painful on the PS3 version, because on the PS3 version, this boss lags. The frame is dropping, and it can be really annoying for a lot of runners out there. It's not that it's hard or anything. It's just since we doing our RTA, which is real-time attack for speedrunning this game, we losing a lot of seconds because like there's frame drop every time we beat trying to beat this boss. So this boss is pretty simple. There's one phase that we normally hate dealing with. Normally I'm throwing the ball here and it should succeed, but yeah, like he's gonna do something like that for the first phase, and it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna throw that thing pretty normally, and we're probably gonna heading to the other phase, which is the we're probably gonna heading to the other phase, which allowing us to actually, like, it should be now. Yeah, there it is. So it's the phase 1 is done, and now we actually at the phase 2. The phase 2 is not a big deal. He's gonna just come out in the middle, and he's gonna just open himself. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna throw like balls. Obviously, that's pretty much of it. And I'm gonna do the same partner until like he's pretty much done. So normally, like, I'm pretty far away from where he is, but in a good range, I would say, like, in a good spot, it would be like at least another bar health you would lost. But yeah, the boss fight is not hard, real simple to do. So I'm gonna just through this. By the way, if I'm not carefuling, normally he's gonna just like normally if I'm not carefuling, he's just gonna like use his actual tentacle and he's just gonna melee me with it, and it can actually deal me a lot of damage on me. Like, I'm probably gonna be like full half HP, I would say. But now, like, the world is done, the bosses are done, and there's only Vajana 2, which is the like not the last boss, but one of the few boss, you know. So as you can see, if I'm not carefuling, she's gonna hurt me like crazy. Because right now, what I'm currently doing, it's a trick that we doing so we can abusing her to re-grab her. So there we go. So I'm just gonna put her there.
How about this one? Damage index exceeding 50%.
So yeah, that can be a thing too.
Colony damage increasing.
So yeah, that can be a thing if I'm not careful. Like normally, like I should play more safe than that, but I normally don't, as always, and I die. But it's a normal thing. Like I haven't like speedrun that game for a long time, but like normally, like when I'm starting to do that trick, it takes me a lot of time to get used to.
I'm gonna be honest, when I saw the game over screen, I was half expecting somebody to scream snake.
Yeah, I almost feel like. But yeah, the game over screen is not a big deal. It's not real, like, it's kind of not long, but in an RTR run like we do normally, it's kind of like we're losing at least 10 seconds or something like that. It's not a big deal at all.
I'm curious though, how are the controls in this game? Because it seems kind of complicated.
No, not at all. They're pretty smooth. They're pretty smooth game control. So what I'm gonna do is, as I say, I'm just gonna do the trick. I'm just gonna make her like this way, and I have to like grab her in a specific frame to do the trick. But now she's done, and now the boss is pretty. It's not that she's over, but we're gonna fight her again in the upcoming zone, and that's gonna be the last time we're gonna see her. So this zone, what we're gonna do? It's the last zone of the level, so we're gonna defuse bombs. And there's a way to destroy the bombs, but it's for saving more times, but that's a trick that I haven't done yet. So normally we want to just destroying some units, and like once, like as you can see right now, like there's some kind of like things like putting in the mecha, like this kind of thing right here. And it tells me the position where the bomb is, and I just pressing circle and it just disarmed the bomb. So it's not a big deal. What I'm gonna do for the last one, I'm probably gonna explode it, because at the last unit we fighting, we getting Megatron, and Megatron gave us health. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna explode with it, and I'm just probably gonna just diffusing the main of it. Like I'm gonna diffuse this one and another one and another one, and the last one I'm just gonna explode it. Since because I'm receiving health, so it's not a big deal. And after that we're gonna face off Vaiana, which I like to call her Vaiana Zombie or Vaiana Tree. So it's not gonna be a really hard part. And as you can see, sometimes in the end, like the units can be not cooperative, and they can just keep it up the same attack. So yeah, that can be really risky sometimes in an easy run. So I'm gonna defuse that one, and then the upcoming one, I'm gonna just explode it. Since I got full health.
The bomb was detonated correctly. We have shot down the enemy.
So there's nothing much. I'm probably not gonna explode it actually because I don't have health anymore.
I detect a bomb.
Unless, yeah, I'm gonna explode it. There's this unit out there. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna explode it. As you can see, like I'm actually at the red half of my health. So it's kind of risky because I can mess up and I can die easily here. So it didn't happen. So we have this cutscene. We have Zombie Vaiana. We're heading toward her because she's really near the wall. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab her, just throwing her, grab her in a specific frame, and just keep it up until she is losing all the health. And it's probably gonna be over for her until maybe in the second game where it's not actually her. But I'm not gonna spoil it. Maybe I spoiled it a bit, but oh well, not a big deal. So Vaiana is done, and now we actually face off Anubis, which is a unit that we're not able to defeating in the actual first game. But that's gonna be a thing that you'll see in the second game. There's nothing much I can do here except to running away from it because he's actually hit me. He's doing a lot of damage. So, and normal or hard, if he's touched me once, it might be over for the round. So, yeah. By the way, guys, behind, just let you know, get ready for the timer. It's about to end soon.
So this is the final boss then?
Yeah, it's the final minute. Final second, I would say, like the upcoming 40 seconds here. No, the upcoming 20 seconds is gonna be the end, I think. So it's done. We have a cutscene here, and he's gonna TP right, get really soon. Timer should start up soon right now. So he's gonna TP right here, and it should be not this one, but this one. And time. So yeah. This is pretty much of it. It's not PS2 Zone of the Enders, but it's Zone of the Enders HD edition, PS3. It's an amazing, fun game to play. Not hard. The controls are really amazing still, and it's probably one of my favorite mecha games to play when I have the opportunity to speedrun. We're not a community. We're just a small group of people who speedrun that game. There's few people who have submitted run on speedrun.com, but that's not that much. As I'm mentioning, the game is pretty easy. Like in the category easy, any percentage is quite a really good starting. I've grinding a lot during because the last time I've run that game was 7 months ago, and I was really into it. Like it was my actual first game that I started speedrunning as no James Bond games or GoldenEye games, and it's not a bad game at all. It's a fun game. As I say it again, if you have the opportunity to try Zone of the Enders as a, relaxing, fun game, I recommended it. It's a really amazing game. Second Runner came out on Steam PS4 VR. I'll say this is probably the best version you would try. But if you're really curious about Zone of the Enders 1, I would say go ahead, give it a try. And if you guys have any question about Zone of the Enders, Zone of the Enders 1 speedrunning, then we actually recently made a Discord. Well, somebody on the group of the people speedrun the game actually did a Discord recently that is welcoming anyone that are interesting or would like to know how the game works and any percentage or any category. So yeah, shout out to Tebicola, shout out to Fire. Those guys actually giving a lot of progression once I stopped running this game. I didn't want it to stop running game. I just was pretty busy for you guys, so I'll try to speed running more, and I need to do my sub 24 soon. Or sub 25, you would say. But that's pretty much of it. Zone of the Enders, and thanks, guys. That was pretty great.